No. What's up, good people? In today's video, we're going to show you how to properly wash your show car, your Challenger, without adding scratches to it.
Let's get started.
Let's go. And go. If you follow our Instagram page, then you may already know this guy, but this is Edgar, the shop manager at Clear Auto Spa. This is the first time you don't look pissed when the camera's on you, Edgar.
It's because I did a cartwheel, man.
Oh, it's the cartwheel. It's the cartwheel. So
my anger went to the bottom.
I'm gonna let Edgar almost lead this video because he knows the proper process to wash it. Actually, we wash every car the proper way so that it doesn't add scratches. But Edgar, why don't you start off and let them know what you start with on the proper wash process?
Well, we start with getting our wheel cleaner. Spray some. I like to go around the tire first. Then I get into the actual rims. Try to get in the wheel wells. Some wheels will need more than others.
So just to recap, as Edgar's working on the wheels, we do a 3-bucket system. Some people refer to it as a 2-bucket system because of the main 2 buckets on washing the car. There is a separate bucket that washes the wheels with separate tools, separate soap, separate everything that touches the wheels. Nothing that's a part of the wheel process is a part of the car process. Now, the most common thing that I see at car shows is when people get there, of course you want to just kind of dust off your car, just kind of get that layer of dust that got on the car on your way to a Cars and Coffee. The number one thing I see is people will wipe their car and their rims with the same rag, and that has to be the absolute biggest no-no. I gotta tell you, your wheel has tiny, tiny brake dust particles. That's metal. It's essentially shrapnel. It wouldn't be good in your motor, and it's not good on your paint.
Kind of want to, as much as possible, try not to splash too much of the liquid onto the paint because it's a really rough chemical.
And if you have wax on your car and you get a concentrated wheel cleaner on your car, on the car's body or the wheel well, it'll almost always start to strip off the wax. Now, as Edgar finishes up on the last wheel of the car, I want to tell you guys about a giveaway I'm doing. In this video, we're going to be giving away a 1-gallon bottle of Chemical Guys Buttery Wet Wax. If you're a fan of Chemical Guys' Buttery Wet Wax, you know that this is an awesome deal, okay? This is not in conjunction with Chemical Guys. This is totally me and Clear Auto Spa, my shop, that we're doing this. All you have to do to win is comment in the box below and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Liquid Buttery Wet Wax.
So now we're gonna cover the car in snow foam. What the snow foam is gonna do is encapsulate the dirt so that we're not just rubbing and scratching the car with dirt. buckets here, my soap bucket, my rinse water bucket. I make sure I keep the lids on top when I'm spraying the snow foam, just in case some of the foam bounces off the car and back into any of my buckets. It's not throwing dirt or dirty soap into my buckets. So I'm gonna wash this car, as I do many other cars, section by section. I like to separate it in general by panels. I'm gonna start with the roof, then move on down, then I'll move on to the bumpers, and last but not least, I'll move on to the very bottoms of the bumpers as well as the side skirts, and then the edge of the wheel wells is the very last thing I do.
Now, you may notice that Edgar was overlapping his wash areas. You always want to make sure you overlap. See, a lot of people get the idea that if you snow foam a car, that you can just kind of wipe, just kind of lightly wipe, and between that and the snow foam, the dirt will come off. Oftentimes, that's not the case. If you don't overlap your areas and you miss just the smallest area, once you dry the car, it's going to show exactly where you didn't wash the car.
And if you miss a spot and work at Clear Auto Spot, you'll get yelled at.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Now that I've done top of the car and the sides, the second to last thing I do are the bumpers. The bumpers get basically the most amount of dirt and debris from the road.
Every part of our process is very meticulous and sometimes can seem unnecessary. This is what we do for a living, and we've just noticed certain things that have made us tweak our process to be the most efficient as possible. The number one goal that I'm trying to get to you, to convey to you for washing your show cars, is minimizing or mitigating the amount of swirls and scratches caused by tiny particles of dirt that are on your car. 90% of swirls and scratches on cars come from improper washing. It doesn't quite matter the product if you're not doing the process right. So that's why a lot of our processes are very, very particular and almost a little bit OCD, but trust me, it works out in the end on mitigating the amount of swirls and scratches, especially a car like this that we spent a whole week paint correcting.
And the last thing I wash is what I call the bottoms of the car. It's just the edge and maybe a little bit under the front lip, as well as the side skirts on the edge, maybe a little bit under. And if you look at this mitt, this is why I leave those parts for last.
One of the most important parts of the process of washing your show car properly without adding to any swirls or scratches on the car is blow drying the car. Blow drying your car is going to be the absolute best way to dry your car in the wash process that doesn't add to swirls and scratches being on the car. So just to double back on all the steps, we wash the wheels with a separate bucket, separate tools. The type of chemicals you use, totally up to you. It's not really about the product as much as it's about the technique. We snow foamed the car. After snow foaming the car, we went over it by section with our 2-bucket wash system and a Chanel mitt. We blow dried the car. Now that's one of the most important parts of this. Blow drying your car as opposed to towel drying your car is going to yield the most results when it comes to mitigating the amount of scratches that you have on your car. Now, if you can't afford a blow dryer, then I would say towel dry the car with a very, very plush Chanel towel or plush microfiber towel. You want to dab dry the car. You want to lay the towel on the car and then just kind of dab your hand over the section, pick it up, flip it over, do another section of the car. Clean the windows. You still want to always clean the windows with a window cleaner, even though we wash the windows in the wash process, because it's just going to give you a better result. Plus, the window cleaner tends to have more repellent for repelling rain if you ever get stuck in the rain. Let's see the final product. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we're doing a giveaway, 1 gallon bottle of Chemical Guys Buttery Wet Wax. It's not a part of Chemical Guys, it's just me giving it away to you. All you have to do, subscribe to the channel, make a comment below, and I'll make the announcement on the next video. Until then, peace.